Good morning, colleagues. I think we can start now. Welcome to yet another series of our 1 hour-long conversation with leaders in the ILS sector. My name is Meshia Mariana, the current chair-elect for IGBIS, your interest group for bibliographic standard in South Africa. Today's conversation is the 6th in the series of our conversation with leaders. The purpose of this session is to encourage both LIASA IGBIS members and the LIS profession to take up leadership positions in the broader LIASA community and as well as the LIS profession at large. We ask our leaders to share their experience, career progressions, key aha moments and insight that kept them motivated and inspired in their leadership positions and journey. Please be reminded that this session will be recorded and shared on social media channels, and then feel free to type your comments and questions throughout the session in the chat function. Please allow me to introduce our leader for today, Ms. Rachel Murray. Ms. Murray has been an invaluable contributor to the library and information service profession for over 40 years and has been integral in establishing and providing library services to South Africans. Ms. Murray has previously held positions in provincial and academic libraries, and she was Deputy National Librarian at the National Library of South Africa. Some of the notable awards recognizing Rachel's contribution includes the UNISA Department of Information Science Alumni of the Year Award in the year 2002, the Sabinet Librarian of the Year Award in 2004. Ms. Murray was president of the LIASA during the 2008 to 2010 term and was conferred honorary LIASA membership in 2010. Since 2016, she is the chairperson of Sally Trust, awarding grants to further research and excellence in the ILS profession. Rachel is an active contributor to development projects and inspires us with her dedication to community upliftment. We are looking forward to listen and learn from you, Murray. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, colleagues. It is indeed a great honor for me to have been invited this morning to have this leadership conversation with you. It is really great to be here. I know it's raining outside, and as a retiree, I would be in bed, but I was so excited to wake up and come here because this invite was like a ray of sunshine. And it is indeed great to be here to come and share my career and leadership journey. I sincerely hope it will ignite and inspire the dimming leadership commitment within LIASA. Leadership is a topic very close to my heart, and I am looking forward to the conversation at the end of my presentation. The outline of my presentation will really be about the purpose of being here, my career journey, the leadership journey, the leadership transition across multiple generations, something about untapping your potential and avoiding leadership regrets, and I'll end up with how to overcome leadership challenges. So allow me to express my sincere gratitude to Fatima and the team for the invitation. This conversation with LIASA and IGBIS leaders is crucial and long overdue. It is actually a beacon of hope to many, and after the last LIASA elections, where some branches and interest groups could not fill all the executive positions, it was really a wake-up call, a clear indication that maybe all is not well. But remember, an organization is only as strong as the commitment of its members to see it grow, to see it succeed, and to see it attaining greater heights. The growth and success of LIASA is in the hands and feet of each and every member, just as the strength of LIASA is its members and leadership. I remember the years when LIASA used to be the envy of library associations in the country. Members were united in purpose to see it succeed. And I remember clearly a remark from one of the international speakers in one of our LIASA conferences, and I quote her, "LIASA has achieved what many associations can only dream of," those quotes. Where did we drop the ball? But congratulations, IGBIS. You did not let the LIASA leadership challenge shock you into silence. This leadership conversation is about confronting the elephant in the room. It is about saying to our members, rise up, be proud of who you are, embrace your professional body, and be proud of your profession. And that's leadership. So congratulations, IGBIS. The purpose of the conversation in my invite was to motivate or encourage LIASA members to take up leadership positions in LIASA or the LIS profession or IGBIS. And for me, this is a call for action, a call for members to commit to LIASA. And this conversation, colleagues, is a beacon of hope because it shows something is being done. But be reassured, rest assured, colleagues, this leadership crisis is not unique to LIASA. Most organizations are experiencing it for various reasons. But the most common one is the baby boomers generations, who are the majority in the workplace and in leadership worldwide, are now retiring in great numbers. And unfortunately, they are taking with them vast years of valuable experience and seasoned leadership skills, which cannot be transferred, replaced, or produced overnight. This leadership transition should have been managed earlier to avoid this leadership challenge. And I will expand more about this later. But thanks, IGBIS, the work has begun. My LIS career journey, where did it all start? You know, in my attempt to answer what motivated me to become a librarian, let me share with you my relationship with books and reading and where it all started. Although I grew up in a township with no school or public library, I was fortunate to be raised in a home where books, magazines, and newspapers were available. My father was a school principal, and he encouraged the family to read books and newspapers. So reading for leisure was truly a way of life in my family. After I passed matric in 1974, I was recruited in librarianship by one friend of mine who was a nephew of Professor Manak. She was already working in a library. She informed me that she has been awarded a Fulbright scholarship to study for librarianship in America. And that the library she was working at was looking for someone with matric to replace her. Although I heard about librarianship in the past, I never thought of it as a profession to follow. After she shared how fulfilling the profession was, I was impressed. Her duties included assisting with establishing libraries in Black townships. And I felt it was politically correct then for me to be part of making a difference by providing library services in Black townships. I was hooked to librarianship. And when she left for the USA, I applied for the position and I was appointed. And that is how I entered the LIS sector and retired proudly after 43 years of service. My first job was being appointed as a library assistant at the Transvaal Provincial Library Services. Little did I know that it was a giant step into a lifelong fulfilling career. And I've been saying to myself, at that time, I chose well, because librarianship is one of the rewarding and inspiring professions, because it greatly impacts on people's lives in various ways, and libraries changes lives. My second job was at Harangua Hospital Library. I resigned from the regional library when I got married, and I could no longer travel with the book van. So in Harangua Hospital, I was employed to start their new hospital library. 4 years later, the Medical University of South Africa was opened, and I was appointed there as a senior library assistant. It was at Medusa Library that my profession was cemented. And it was a pleasure there to see myself orientating medical students who were entering the library for the first time at a university. And it was a great pleasure to see them as qualified medical practitioners afterwards. My career journey continues. I was also lucky to work under a very progressive library director. Maybe some of you will remember him, Mr. Chris Fenn. He was a great mentor and a role model. He encouraged me to study further and obtain my library qualifications. He was really interested in my professional growth and was very much impressed by me being a wife, a working mother, and still studying part-time. Although it was hard, I was determined to make it. He encouraged me to attend LIS conferences and present papers. And thus far, I have presented over 25 papers, facilitated workshops and seminars. This showed me that mentors are very crucial on a career journey. They can encourage, motivate, and support new and emerging leaders. I obtained my library qualifications up to honors level at UNISA. I was promoted and moved through the ranks in a very short space of time because of qualifications, experience, and hard work. When I was appointed library director, I had to adapt quickly because I was now manager and leader to colleagues I used to report to. Fortunately, I had their support because we worked together for many years and they wanted to see me succeeding. I enrolled for a master's in business administration at University of Pretoria to become a better library manager and leader. I received the Best MBA Achiever Award at my graduation. Looking back where I started as a library assistant, I felt very proud of my achievement. And the secret of my success was having a clear vision of what I wanted to achieve, as well as having great dedication, determination, and drive to succeed against all odds. After obtaining my MBA, which the university paid for, the university management wanted me to move from the library into a university administrative position, arguing that that's where my skills are needed most. The salary and perks were higher, but I declined the offer. I was a committed librarian. I was committed to my profession. When I studied MBA, I did that to be the best library director. Even the topic of my thesis was on librarianship, the attitudes of librarians towards affirmative action in the workplace. When my classmates were doing thesis on business, I went for a thesis on librarianship, which is a clear indication that I was a librarian at heart and mind. I served on various university committees, attended leadership programs, especially those designed for women in higher education leadership. I was also a participant in LIASA SAL program, as well as many other leadership programs offered by the British Council, the American Educational Opportunities. I even went on a Carnegie Exchange leadership program in Austria. I also served as a LIASA president in the past, and presently I am the chair of SALI Trust, which offers grants for library community projects and LIS research. Now that I am retired, I am more involved in community development projects. The exciting one is the one which I am a founder of, which supports abused women. We meet in a library and the survivors of abuse are encouraged to write their stories to break the silence around women abuse. It's a Writing to Heal project. And I also serve on the editorial committee of People Opposed to Women Abuse. The last 10 years of my career were also interesting. The mergers of universities impacted negatively on Medunsa as a university. Many academic staff left Medunsa to join other universities. I also left Medunsa after 28 years of service to join the National Library as a deputy national librarian. For me, it was yet another opportunity to experience another type of library service because I had already worked in public, special, and academic libraries. I enjoyed my work at the National Library because I was exposed to international librarianship even more. And I was also elected as the secretary for the Conference of National Directors of the World. What a great experience it was. I learned about diplomatic agreements, working with cultural attaches of different embassies. I have built lasting relationships and networks throughout my career with those national librarians, and I am still in touch with some of them. And colleagues, those are the rewards of leadership. So don't be afraid. Take the leap of faith. Ignore those discouraging voices within and around you. LIASA as a professional body is worth fighting for. I left the National Library after 5 years at the age of 60 years and was contemplating whether to retire or not when I saw a lecturer position at UNISA Department of Information Science. I saw an opportunity yet again to plow back. I knew how it felt to study part-time. I also wanted to experience the academic side of our profession. And it was a great pleasure ending my career where I studied librarianship. The experience gained is immeasurable. I enjoyed training future librarians. So I had come full circle. With my years of library practice, it was great to be able to marry theory and practice. And I found that they actually complement each other. The department was just too happy to have me as one of the alumni and past presidents as their staff member. In 2006, I was awarded the UNISA Alumnus of the Year, and I really felt at home there. I became an ambassador for LIASA and connected with the staff at UNISA to make sure that LIASA is known and supported. And in 2014, UNISA Library awarded me and the late Leo Walker with Outstanding Leader Award for leadership and contribution within the LIS sector. Although I am retired now, being chairperson of Sally Trust keeps me in touch with the sector, and I am also an honorary member of LIASA and ready to assist whenever needed. I will always remain a LIASA member, and I'm not afraid to declare that I am LIASA member for life. This IGBIS leadership conversation is necessary. It is necessary for growing a pool of leaders to take LIASA to greater heights. This is because an organization is as strong as the commitment and determination of its members to succeed. LIASA will never grow until it has produced enough leaders from within. And on reflection, this was the key to LIASA's success in the past. In the words of our late President Nelson Mandela, who once said, and I quote, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Our playing small does not serve the world. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to shine." Those quotes. Therefore, as librarians, let us liberate ourselves from the fear of leadership so that our new emerging leaders can embrace leadership. And in today's workplaces, there are 3 generations visible. The baby boomers born before 1946 and 1964, the Generation X born between 1965 and 1980, and the millennials born between 1980 and 2000. Each of these generations have different dislikes, have different likes, and have different attitudes regarding work. Their preferred leadership styles also differ. For example, the baby boomers are team-oriented, comfortable with authority and hierarchy. The Generation X is the opposite. They are individualistic, they are self-reliant, and not impressed with authority. They prefer straightforward conversations and sometimes very difficult to manage at work. And unfortunately for them, they are the ones who are to succeed the baby boomers. And they are presently the focus of managers because of the retirement of these baby boomers. And the millennials have a mentality that they do not live to work. They focus more on their life outside work. Very comfortable with technology, very assertive and well-informed, and they prefer flattened hierarchy. And their unlimited access to information really make them have very strong views, and are also sometimes difficult to manage. But it has been researched that the best leadership style is the one working for multiple generations. And that leadership style is a transactional leadership, which includes aspects preferred by each generation. And in order to mentor the last two generations, one has to know how they prefer to lead and how they prefer to be led. Let me share with you about untapping your potential. I believe that in every individual lies a great leader waiting to emerge. But leadership is a choice. Great leaders lead from the heart and from the head. Leading from the head helps leaders to focus on the business objectives, while leading from the heart focuses on people engagement and building relationships. But it is the combination of both the heart and the head, which in turn wins the hands and feet of followers. Remember, a leader without followers is merely taking a walk. Because I'm retired and reading a lot of books, I just finished reading a book by Robin Sharma on the 10 human regrets and how to avoid them. The book paints a scenario of reaching the last day of your life and suddenly realizing that you had dreams that were never realized because you were too afraid to take bold risks. There are books you never read or wrote because you procrastinated a lot. There are ideas that you never shared because you thought they were not good enough. There are visions and plans that never materialized because they were never shared. There were purposes that were never fulfilled because you failed to take up leadership roles where you could have made a difference. So colleagues, step up before it is too late. Take up those leadership positions for your benefit and that of our profession. Everyone is a leader. Introverts are also leaders. With their quiet leadership style, they are needed. Extroverts, with their inspiring leadership style, are also needed. They both complement each other. We need to take LIASA leadership forward. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the profession. We owe it to the coming generations. My leadership presidency was not very easy. LIASA had financial challenges at that time. And I really had to think outside the box in order to make LIASA financially viable. I came up with a campaign of raising funds for LIASA and called it the President's 1 million fundraising campaign. Up to today, the target is not yet reached. And From what I shared from that book, it means this dream was not fulfilled. It is really a worthy campaign and an opportunity to make a difference. And I told myself that, you know, IGBIS has actually, with this conversation, made me revisit this dream. And I am really going to work in order to ensure that the president's 1 million fundraising campaign continues until the 1 million target has been reached. So I have suddenly, through this conversation, find something to keep me busy also during retirement. I'm going to knock on doors. I'm going to approach people. I'm going to make sure that the 1 million fundraising campaign becomes a reality. And you're all free to really contribute to it. Because indeed, leadership is very fulfilling, but also challenges. It has challenges as well, because there is no growth without friction. There is no growth without pain. Talking about pain, pain has to do with challenges. And I would like to close by sharing how we could overcome leadership challenges. As a leader, challenges will come for you. They will come from all sides, around the corner, and even within. But every challenge is an opportunity to learn about yourself, improve your skill, and strengthen your emotional intelligence. When faced with challenges, stay humble. Leadership is about influence, impact, and service, not power and status, because those ones can fade. Have self-confidence. Get rid of self-doubts. Quieten that nagging inner voice that tells you that you are failing, you are not good enough. Tell that voice that I am a great leader. Overcome fear. Fear is a basic human instinct. No one is immune to it. Yes, we are often unsure of ourselves and we are inclined to look for approval, but be courageous. Overcome fear, recognize it, and deal with it effectively. Tell that fear to quieten down so that you can lead and serve the profession. Follow through as a leader. There is always too much or for so little time for you to do. Pace yourself. Reduce what is on your plate. Prioritize, delegate, and follow through. Learn how to deal with leadership stress and anxiety. Never leave stress and anxiety unchecked or unattended. Positive self-talk is the first step towards stress management. Keep yourself motivated. Surround yourself with positive people. Avoid those that are sapping your energy with negativity. Remember, everyone is looking up to you as a motivator, as a champion, and as a cheerleader. So stay motivated. Dare to be vulnerable as a leader. Nobody is perfect. Admit mistakes, correct them, move forward. Be real and honest about how you feel. Engage in honest conversations. Show your humanity. Lead from the heart. Coach and mentor your team. People want to grow and develop. It is the leadership duty to produce other leaders. Once you are elected or appointed, start preparing for your exit. succession planning is key. Develop your own skills. Take care of your own development. Keep a growth mindset. Great leaders are great learners. They are early adapters, and this enables them to deal with challenges. Lead in times of crisis. Be visible. Do not bury your head in the sand hoping the crisis will go away. Be courageous, be confident. Tough times open opportunities for growth. Use challenges as stepping stones. And in conclusion, leadership is a choice. A choice to avail yourself to lead. It is not a title you can give to yourself, but a service to render. Great leadership starts from the heart and the mind of a leader, which finally wins the hands and feet of all those who follow you. And together, we can take our organization, LIASA, forward and steer it to the highest level possible. Leadership is also about being a torchbearer for LIASA's vision and purpose, a torchbearer to light the LIASA leadership path, removing all the obstacles and making it attractive to new leaders. Colleagues, a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. It is now time that all LIASA leaders, past and present, hold hands to light those leadership candles. Great leaders develop other leaders and ensure the success of LIASA as our professional body. There is still a lot of work to be done. Let us not be afraid of the future. We are here to create it, and we dare not drop the baton. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the future LIS generations. Thank you, colleagues, for the invite, and thank you for listening to me.
Hello.
Oh, what an inspirational talk. Thank you very much, Memory, for willingly sharing your experiences and leadership journey with us. Indeed, leadership is a choice to provide service, and it is not a position. Thank you very much. I will then hand over to Ingrid Henrisi, the IGBIS secretary, who will be facilitating the Q&A. Thank you. Over to you, Ingrid.
Thanks, Marcia. Yes, thank you very much, Rachel, for that wonderful talk. Now we are opening the floor to any questions, and hopefully we will have some questions. I know, Berenice Pfeffer, you said there was a question you had?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Hi, Rachel. I've been a member since 2002 of LIASA. This is when I started working for the first time as a full-time librarian. And your story resonates a lot with me. I'm also of the boomers. I will be 59.
Oh, yes.
The disadvantage was that I was both disadvantaged because of my race, but I was also disadvantaged because I was born with a disability. And Rachel, let me tell you, when I decided to become a librarian, my journey, I was also because of books. And I went to UWC. And I don't know what happened. I went there for 4 years for a B bubble. I had to change over to B bubble 8 because I didn't have couldn't get a bursary because nobody would want to give me a bursary because of the disability, because, you know, the misconception. It took me 7 years to finish my degree, but I had people like Professor Archdick, Professor
Yes.
Frederickson, who encouraged me. And when I graduated with my degree after 7 years, you know what? I will show you one day. I want to, but I was so full of hope that when I go into the profession, you know, it will be easy. But lo and behold, I sometimes wish I was torn apart. I was broken up by the very people UWC who didn't want to even give me a post as an assistant.
Oh, thank you for sharing your story. And it's a very inspiring one because you were able, you know, to study and attain your
Yeah.
qualifications.
Yeah, what I want to say to you, you know what, but you gave me hope again. You talking, let me take away my, okay, the disability played a part, but there are so many things that you gave to me that I agree with, that I agree with, that way I'm thinking to myself, parents, I'm working for our church institution. You know, I got the post here as a librarian, but I was never allowed. I was to be in the leadership position, because I wasn't good enough. But because I was, and they even came to a point where they wanted to actually force me to go on retirement, on boarding. But then, hallelujah, COVID came and God stopped that. But what I want to say to you, I am now planning to apply for the live director's post, because we have a position here where they put in somebody else who are not qualified. But I was fighting them on the basis of LIASA, because as a member of LIASA, I told them, you know, you cannot employ it is a person without a qualification. And they promised me it would be just for 2 years. So I'm waiting for next year, so that to see the application, and I'm going to apply. I thought of leaving, you know, I thought of leaving, but then I thought, why must I? But now you gave me the thing. You're not old enough, you're not that old, Berenice. You are disabled, but you'll be 59 now. You know, 59, the Christmas day I will be 59. And I've got 6 more years to work. I'm going to, and I'm giving it to the other group here. Please, you can nominate me for any position, you know, as a proud LIASA librarian. I am willing to be nominated for anything. I'm from the Western Cape. Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You know, don't forget that every one of us is a leader.
Yeah.
Remember, I said within every one of us lies a leader.
Yeah.
So even if you are not appointed in a leadership position,
Exactly.
you are a leader wherever you are. And thank you very much for sharing your story. And I'm happy that I could motivate you to stay on and continue doing the good work. And you are a leader where you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments from other colleagues? There's been thanks and motivational comments that are coming up in the chat of people who are saying thank you for the wonderful talk that we've had. Are there any questions that anyone would like to ask or say something? No? No takers. Okay. I'm going to hand over to, if there's no questions, we're going to hand over to Fatima to say the thanks and the closure.
Thank you for the invite. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. Rachel, you've thanked us so beautifully this morning for having these conversations, but we certainly would not have been able to do it with leaders such as yourself, who are always willing to come back out of retirement, even on very wet, rainy mornings, and take on the traffic in this kind of weather. Thank you so much, Rachel, for joining us this morning. Look what you did, Rachel. You inspired people to take up leadership positions and to recognize that they are in fact leaders from wherever they are within the organization. I think that Berenice articulated a lot of the comments in the chat, Rachel, and I will just ask Kagiso at this point if you would capture the chat conversations for us so that we could share it with Rachel as well, because I'm sure, Rachel, you wouldn't have had the opportunity to look at all of the comments in the chat. So thank you very much for that. I also would like to thank the National Office, because of course Rachel has decided to take on the weather and the traffic and go to the National Office there. So thank you to Anne-Marie, Kagiso and Lebogang for your support there. It's very much appreciated. And then, of course, I want to thank the Executive Committee of the ICBIS, National Executive. Thank you, Ingrid Mercer, who stepped up because one of our colleagues has had a bereavement, and so we had to reshuffle things a little bit. So I would also like to take the opportunity to extend the condolences of the Executive Committee, as well as everybody in this room, to Sarah Golby. She is the PRO of the ICBIS committee. She has had her grandmother passed away. You see, those sympathies. Those generations are leaving us, and we have to capture the knowledge in some way. So our deepest condolences and sympathies to Sarah and her family. Alex, then I'd like to thank you very much for joining us this morning. Yeah, in Pretoria, it's very wet and it's kind of cold, which is, you know, we're not used to this weather up here in when it's supposed to be summer and we're supposed to be having hot weather. So I hope where you are dry, and you've had an exceptional morning this morning. I can certainly see from the chat that has indeed been so, and I can only echo the words of Rachel when she said leadership is a choice. And I hope you make this choice to participate and stand for portfolio positions in the upcoming, because it's not very far away, colleagues. It's a couple of months away where we will go to the LIASA elections again for the next term of office. I see it's rainy and cold in Joburg as well. Funny weather indeed. I agree, Teresa. And then finally, colleagues, I should have warned you, but I forgot because I was so inspired by Rachel this morning. We would like to take a picture. So don't worry about the makeup and the toque and so on. Just put the camera on. And then we'll just give an opportunity for everybody to do that. And then we will take some screenshots. And I think, so if you would also help us again.
Yes, we'll do, Fatima.
Thank you very much, Kagiso.
Migraine. Can I migraine?
We can see you, baby.
Oh, yeah. I see all of you now. Hi.
No, I'm doing great. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Nikki. I see Nikki.
Everybody looking good?
Yes.
There we are.
Ah, John. John is also there. Thank you.
John from the Salichas.
Who's that sitting here at the
Oh,
bottom?
Antini.
Okay, good. So do we have all the people with the videos on the front page? Or are there more
Yes, I've
people?
done that. I'm just going to take
I
one
can.
final one.
I think my colleague managed to get in. Gail is my colleague from Alderburg College from Cape Town, the most beautiful city in the world.
Colleagues, so we're going to say what the word is not cheese. The word is Igbis with leaders. Can you say that as one word? Igbis with leaders. Igbis with leaders.
Igbis with leaders.
Thank you, colleagues. Any last chats or comments, because we're running, Rachel was so good and on time. So we have a few more minutes. Any informal comments and so on, you are welcome to do so now.
Can I just say something? Thank you very much for this program that you organized. I've really learned a lot. It really inspired me to stay where I am and I want to continue, when you feel down and out and with all this COVID things as a librarian and, so thank you.
Rachel has really helped us to recommit, Rachel, not only through your words, but through your example as well.
Yes.
With your commitment, I wanted to mention this, your commitment to the 1 million, I was going to say dollar, that would be fantastic. Yes. 1 million residents campaign. I mean, that would be fantastic. And LIASA is an organization, I think, that gets its primary funding from its membership fee. So,
yes,
there's always a need for, there's always a need for funding.
Can I ask a question about I saw that, is that the one when you apply for when you pay for your payment, your membership fee, then that is separate from your, must you put in a separate account? For the million.
I'm not too sure, Berenice. Rachel, I don't know if you're aware, but maybe Anna-Marie, if she's in the room, could assist.
Oh, yes.
If people wanted to contribute,
because
how would they do it? How would they go about doing that? To the President's fund.
Good morning, colleagues. No, I'll just Rachel. I think we will send out a communication to everyone. We can have correct references on the bank statement.
Okay.
That will make it easier for us to identify those payments.
Yes. Yeah.
So look out for communication. We will try and work with Rachel and still do it this week.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anna-Marie. Rachel, see, you started something now again.
Thank you. I can see that. Yeah. And thank you all for really making sure that I fulfill the dream.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much.
And
also for those willing to start. Yes.
Huge applause from everyone. Thank you very much, everybody. I think that we have come to the end of our session. It's really been an exceptional session, and I can say this of each and every conversation that we've had, Rachel. I am reminded every time of the substance of the LIASA presidents. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Invite. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Everybody, keep